Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, honourable members, there's no question that the proposal that has been put forward to remove or destroy or put under observation the chemical weapons needs, first of all, to be verified. Verified in the sense of ensuring that the Assad regime is determined on its implementation. And as honourable members have said, that needs to be both in the meeting that will take place tomorrow and in our discussions, verified and ensured, in order that this is not a delaying tactic or anything other than an opportunity to help protect the people in Syria. Secondly, it is important that the UN inspectors complete their work. Their report, we believe, will be available over the next days, and that will be an opportunity for everyone to see what happened and for greater verification to take place about the event. It will be an important moment as that report is put before the UN Security Council. I have indeed been talking with many countries, including Iran, on the issues of chemical weapons and on the issues of how we move forward in a diplomatic process to a conference that will bring together all those who are able to help stop the fighting and move forward to a resolution that can be peaceful. Honourable members had before me the debate that I've seen so many times in so many places about military action. The questions about humanitarian corridors, the questions about no-fly zones, how to enforce that, how to achieve that. And I have to tell you that in all the conversations with the military experts that I've spoken to, again in many countries, we know this is not something that is passive but active. This is not something that could be done easily. Most importantly, we don't see that this is going to be on the agenda anytime soon, as it has not been on the agenda over these past 2 years. But I don't want any misinterpretation that says that not to have military action is somehow to be passive. There is a huge amount of work going on all the time, meetings with so many different groups from Syria, efforts being made to bring together the international community in a common position that can put the kind of political pressure necessary to be able to bring people together in order to try and resolve this. And the reason to do that, as so many honourable members have said, is for the millions of Syrians who are suffering every single day, who see their lives shattered, their families destroyed, their homes in ruins. And that is why it is very difficult for anyone to imagine that a government that fails to be able to protect its people and indeed is complicit in murdering its people can continue. That does not suggest that there are not challenges for the future about building a peace process that will allow all communities to be part of the future of Syria and to ensure that the values that brought the people originally out in demonstrations to the government 2 years ago, that those values must be the values upon which the new Syria rises from the ashes. Without that, we will have failed the people of Syria, many of whom, the vast majority of whom, want this war to end, want to find a peaceful way forward, and want to live in the kind of free societies that we enjoy. And that's also, of course, important when you think about the context of refugees. Honourable members have spoken about the need for member states to think about their responsibilities. We think about all the time the 2 million people. It's a huge number of people who are now outside of their country. And frankly, the best way we can help them is to help them to be able to go home. And that means finding a way to end this war and to support the rebuilding of their country. To support the refugees, I am pleased, I am proud that between us all, we are the biggest donor of humanitarian aid. I don't honestly think anybody here disagrees that that is fundamentally important. But we need to do more, and that becomes very obvious when you, like me, have visited the refugee camps and see the plight, see the importance of getting schools to function for children, seeing the real importance of ensuring that people have opportunity to do things and to feel that they will have a future where they can engage in their own country in the political process. It also means we think about the displaced people whose lives are miserable within the country and again who need to be helped and supported as much as possible. And I've referred to the challenges of trying to get aid into the country, challenges we have to face but we have to overcome for their sake. Any process is going to have to be led and developed through the United Nations, but it's going to have within it the people who can bring this war to an end. That means it is about trying to put the right kind of programme together to build the support from all nations who have a stake in this, from all nations who have a way in which they can ensure that peace comes and it lasts. And we do play our part and we will play our part. That doesn't mean I'm naive about what that role is, but it does mean it's an important one. And it's important because day after day we get messages from so many countries, organisations and people to ask us to help to do the things that we do well, and that we will commit to do. Finally, honourable members, I want to respond on Camp Ashraf because Vice President Vidal Quadras and Mrs Salafranca raised that. And it is very important. And this morning I left the chamber because I was talking to the Iraqi Foreign Minister about exactly the two issues. One, the importance of ensuring that people are protected properly. And the terrible massacre that we saw on the 1st of September where 52 people have died. The inquiry is underway, but I have urged that that be a properly done inquiry. But as importantly, the responsibility of the government to protect the people. And the 7 people who are missing, who are being tracked down as we speak.